Our sister concern India Today and the TV Today group were the first to bring you exclusive details of the then Prime Minister Nehru snooping on Netaji's kin. We now bring you exclusive details from classified Netaji files. Secret classified government documents which reveal the disappearance of fortunes collected by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, donated to him to fight his armed struggle where the INA is concerned. And how when he was retreating from his headquarters in Rangoon, you can see that right on your television screen, he took that fortune with him to Singapore. From Singapore, he retreated back to Bangkok. From Bangkok, via air, he went to Saigon. Today, it's known as Ho Chi Minh City. 80% of that fortune was left at Saigon. From there on, allegedly, he was on board on an ill-fated flight. Of course, he went to Da Nang first, and from there, he was on board an ill-fated flight, allegedly, where he died in a plane crash. But most of that wealth was left back at Saigon. Important questions are now being raised. Why is it that the government, the then dispensation, did absolutely nothing in terms of ordering an inquiry? Lots of questions being raised. What is it that, who actually siphoned off that wealth left behind by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? The INA booty included over 63.5 kgs of gold donated by Indians to fight the independence war. Netaji left a large part of that treasure in Saigon, journeyed towards his final flight from Taiwan, which crashed. Also destroyed in the aircraft were 2 leather attaches, each 18 inches long, packed with the meager INA gold that Netaji did carry with him, but most of it was left in Saigon. I'm joined in the studio right now, Anuj Dhar, author India's biggest cover-up and Netaji Rashya Gatha. He's joining us, as well as Sandeep Unithan, who's been able to access this classified information for us. Chandra Bose, great-grandson of nephew, in fact, of Subhash Chandra Bose, joins us from Kolkata. I want to cut across to Anuj first. Anuj, why is it important that we declassify this information which you have been able to access, and what does it say about that massive wealth that was left behind by Subhash Chandra Bose in Saigon?
For all sorts of reasons. I think the one reason why I think this, even the treasure trail, is linked to Subhash Bose's disappearance. I think the reason why the government of India, the then Prime Minister, did not want to touch these people, Mr. Iyer and Mr. Ramamurthy, was that if we had asked them plain questions, and if these people were exposed in those days, Iyer was privy to Subhash Bose's plan to escape to Russia, and he would have spilled the beans. So I think to ensure that Mr. Iyer doesn't talk, he doesn't go public what he knew about Subhash Bose's plan to go to Russia, which I think he made it to Russia, and so he kept his mouth shut, and he ensured that Mr. Iyer, also keeps his mouth shut, so he was given a job. Otherwise, if you take a look at the files, I mean, here's a person who is involved in high treason. You are stealing, you're looting the INA treasure, the war chest, race for India's freedom struggle, and these people are allowed to go scot-free. Mr. Ramamurthy was in India, he was not touched. Iyer was given a government job by the Prime Minister himself.
Sandeep, you've been able to access this classified information. Just take us through that. What was it that the then dispensation headed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru do, and what it did not do, importantly? Because repeatedly there were whistleblowers who came up to the then dispensation asking them to have an investigation, a public investigation, as to who embezzled the money, who siphoned it off, and what actually happened to that wealth.
Well, Preeti, it's remarkable because you have 3 very senior diplomats who are heading the mission in Tokyo, repeatedly flagging this issue of the missing INA treasure and giving out the names of people who they suspect have embezzled this fortune, and they're cabling their fears and suspicions to the MEA headquarters in Delhi. And let's not forget, Pandit Nehru is also the foreign minister. He's the Prime Minister and the foreign minister, and he's privy to all these cables that are coming in, and in fact some of them have his signature on it as well, where he says that yes, I have seen this, and he actually advises what to do. And the remarkable thing about these files is that nowhere do they take into account any of these fears, any of these suspicions about these people or the missing treasure.
And incidentally, the people, the whistleblowers who named them, who named certain people, were actually rewarded by the Nehru regime.
No, you mean the
whistleblowers who named the people who could have possibly embezzled the money were rewarded later on.
Well, the people that they named, the 3 people, Mr. Iyer, Ramamurthy, and his younger brother Jay Murthy. Mr. Iyer gets rehabilitated in the government. He's given a plum government job when he comes back, because he prepares the first investigation
Right.
to Netaji's death. There is absolutely no evidence to suggest that they were interrogated or there was any of these suspicions that the bureaucrats,
Right.
the diplomats have raised against them have actually been conveyed to IR. I mean, there's absolutely no action taken on this, despite
Right.
these repeated letters and cables
various
over the
diplomats
years
then, yes.
by various diplomats, and right until the Shahnawaz committee
Right.
in 56, where he very clearly says that we need to have a committee to inquire into this INA treasure.
Right.
And Anuj just said, I mean,
Right.
it was not any treasure.
All right, Sandeep and Mr. Dhar, we are joined right now by the kin of Subhash Chandra Bose. Chandra Bose is with us. He's with my colleague Indrajit Kundu. Indro, what is the stand? The Bose family till now has been asking, pleading the government to declassify these papers. And there is a reason why it needs to be done, because when we talk about the war chest being siphoned off, this was donations made by people who wanted that money to go to fight the war of independence as well.
Well, absolutely. Let's get to know the sense from the family. Chandra Kumar Bose, the grandnephew of Netaji, sir. Another expose by India today, clearly exposing how the government was, in fact, acting as a sitting duck as far as information about the INA treasure is concerned. What is it that the family now demands?
You see, on the 21st of October 1943, for the first time, the free provisional government of free India was established under the leadership of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Now, the residents, the Indians who resided in Southeast Asia, they voluntarily gave up everything, valuables, gold, jewelry, cash, to the Azad Hind government.
Right.
Why did they do that? They wanted the Indian National Army, the Azad Hind Fauj, under the leadership of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, to fight the final battle for India's freedom. Now, it is a shame that certain documents which have come out recently clearly indicates that the INA treasure, it was looted by certain INA officials who betrayed the people of India. The names like Iyer and Rammurthy are coming up. More investigations are required. Part of the treasure had been brought back to India. We would like to know, the people of India would like to know, what happened to the INA treasure. It is in crores. It is not the treasure for the Bose family. It is not the treasure for any individuals.
Right.
It is the treasure that for the people of this country,
Right.
for the liberation of this
You
country.
want a thorough inquiry. So that's the sense, at least
Right.
from the Netaji family here in Kolkata. They're livid and they also want a thorough inquiry into all
Right.
these, revelations that have come up in recent times.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Indra. Would also urge Chandra Bose, Mr. Chandra Bose, to join us at 9 p.m. Sandeep, thank you for joining us, and Mr. Dhar, appreciate you joining us on this special broadcast.